Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Vikings. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is very simple. Each player starts with their own little player board here. They'll have 20 coins if it's a 4-player game, 25 if it's a 3-player game. They'll have this little thing that tells them about large scoring and in-game scoring. They'll each start with this tile with the back of the Viking on top of it. It's just a beginning tile. They can place it anywhere here on their board, wherever they want to, whenever they want to. And then, of course, first player will get this little ship token here. You're going to shuffle these tiles into stacks of 12, put them up here. Put the first ones out here, starting with the 0 and moving around. Any ship tiles that you pick will start on the 11 and move back this way. So if I had another ship, it'd go here. And then you're going to dig through this bag of Vikings and randomly select 12, putting them out in the order you see here, starting with the 0, the light blue, and ending all the way to the 11, which would be any gray. And of course, if there weren't any gray, then it'd be black, and so on and so forth. You just follow this as you see here. And of course, here it gives you the direction like, hey, on the 0 goes land tiles. On the 11 starts the ships going this way and that way. You can also shuffle these other tiles, this like kind of yellow back here, and bring out 4 of them in the game as well. And then you are ready to play. How the game goes is very simple. What you're going to do is, starting with the first player, they're going to select one of these and then pay the money for that one, take the tile and the Viking and put it on their player board anywhere they want. And as you see, ships go here. The black, red, green, yellow, and blue Vikings go all here, and the gray Vikings go up here. So, for example, on my turn, let's say I was to take this green tile here. Now, I was going to pay $3 for this, so I give up $3 and I take it, and I need to put it on my green row for me to place this tile in this Viking there. Now, let's say there's something on the red row. I could place it on the red, but that means that I would have to place this green there, and I can't because that's for reds. So then I'd put him up here for later. But obviously my first move would be to grab this beginner, put it there on the green, and then put the middle there, and then I can place my green guy there. And then it goes to the next player and so on and so forth. Now, the only time you can grab the 0 is if you don't have any money and you can't afford anything else, or there's only one color left of that type. So for instance, someone could go ahead and take the blue right now because, as you see here, they have a 0 and that's the only one left. And so they take this one. Let's say I took this one. Now, my choice is I can put it at the top or bottom of something. I couldn't do it here because that doesn't match up. But I could put it maybe right here. But when I did that, as you see, this is for yellow, not for blue. So this guy would have to go here. So you're placing him, orthogonally. Left, right, up, down, just as long as they match up here. It doesn't have to match it with the tile here, but it has to match it with like a beginning must go there later. Now, and then when someone takes a 0, then everything turns this way, now making this one 0. Now, again, no one could take this until this one's been bought or someone didn't have any money. But as you see, now this one got cheaper. Now, each round, whoever buys the most expensive one at that time, so it'd be 10. But if these 2 were gone, taken by someone, the new low number would be 7, and whoever's paying the highest one for these is going to get a chance to grab one of these additional tiles. And these can be different things. This one gives you 5 coins. This one lets you score an extra coin for every yellow that you have on your board. This one's for in-game scoring at the end. And this one over here is a little island that you can place. So let's say I place it right here. And every tile that's touching it at the end of the game is worth 1 victory point. And there's other different tiles in the game. They're all kind of self-explanatory. But you only have 4 out each round, and that's always for the person who paid the highest. Now, if, the highest was 0, no one gets it. Now, after everyone's done that, you're going to do short scoring on the odd rounds. And then, as it says here, full scoring or large scoring on the even rounds. And so how does short scoring go? Short scoring goes that you will get 3 coins. You'll get money for every yellow guy that you have in your row. So let's say that my rows looked like so. I had one here and maybe one here. I would have gotten $6 because every yellow guy I get 3. And if I'd have had this guy from earlier, maybe I bought the highest, one at the time, I could have placed this here and I would have gotten an extra $1 for each one of these. So they would give me 4 each, giving me 8. Now, after the short round goes, then you do it again, and then you score a large round. What does a large round do? And this thing tells you here, first off, any grays, because you had people up here. Let's say I had him here, and whatnot. And I don't know, let's say I put some over here, and my board kind of looked a little bit like this. Well, now, let me go here. I have an option as a gray guy. For one gray guy, what I can do, and it tells you this on the sheet here, but what I can do is if I have any gray guys, I can ferry them over to here. I can deliver, let's say I had this here. I can deliver two of the, well, as many as the same color as I want. So these two black Vikings can go up here, or I could deliver one of each color. So one like this. I could deliver all of these here, here, as long as there's an island for them. So, oh, no, red would go there. And then blue, the only spot for them would be there. Now, of course, if let's say this wasn't here or this wasn't here and the guy was here and I wanted to deliver this black Viking, I could not. Now, once you've made that one delivery, he is out of the game there and you'll put him over to the side. But that's what you can start the round off with every time, and then you score the round. How the round scores is like so. Let me put this here and this here. So what this would do here is every time I'm able to block one of these ships are kind of bad though, but if you have a black Viking, he can block that and give you either the victory points or the coin every time he blocks it. If he doesn't block it, then that means anything from this ship's color does not activate. So this one goes all the way down to yellow. And so this one would not activate. This one would not activate, but he would still be okay. Whereas for yellow, it would disarm everyone down there if it didn't have a black Viking covering it. What do each one of these do in large scoring? Nobles, here it tells you right here, give you 2 victory points. Scouts give you 1 victory point and 1 victory point for anyone below them. So for in this example here, he'd get 1 victory point, 2, 3. You know, if this was blocked, though, you'd actually have to have that black Viking blocking that ship there. And then you'd also get 5 coin in that example, too. If the black Viking, let's say, he had this here, and he had that blocked. Then, of course, he'd get 5 coin here. This guy wouldn't score anything because he wouldn't get gold. But this guy would give him 2 points. This guy would give him 1, 2, 3 points. This guy would give him 3 gold. This guy gives nothing. This is for in-game points, which I'll explain later. But then, of course, you'll score the money again. And so that's basically how you're going about doing all this. Now, if there is a time where you cannot place an actual tile, you can place farther out here, but let's say I couldn't place this tile for whatever reason, you know, maybe these are all ended here. You just have to discard the tile. It doesn't happen that much, but it does happen every once in a while in games. And that's how full scoring goes. And then you keep going till you go to the end. At the end of the game, for every ship that is left unguarded by a black Viking, you will lose that amount of victory points or coin for the first time. And then, as it says over here in the back here, then you start adding up all these points here. For every 5 coin, you get a victory point. For whoever has the most gray guys left over in their field, that would also give them 10. Whoever has the most gets 10. And ties, both players get the points. Whoever has the most completed islands, just little or large, gets 7 points. Whoever has the longest completed island gets 5 victory points. And here is where the fishermen come in. For every fisherman you have, he can feed up to 4 Vikings. And that also includes the Vikings over here too, so don't forget about them. So in this example, he'd feed 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I had another one, let's say that, you know, this guy was down here. So now I can feed 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, good. If that was the case, then according to this, anyone I overfeed, I get 2 victory points. But if I only had 1, then I get -1 victory point. So he could feed 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I get -1, 2, 3 points at the end of the game. And that is explained here. So again, if I had this tile, it would still be -1 point, but a +3 if I could overfeed my people. So that's what one of those special tiles can do. And of course, whoever has the most victory points win. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? One thing I need to mention, you start with 10 victory points and you can use victory points for money in the auction. 1 victory point equals 1 coin. Forgot to mention that. But anyway, overall, I've been looking at this game for quite some time. It is very expensive, but I got it in a trade and it's brand new. I didn't know it was a brand new version. I thought I got a used version, but I got a brand new version, punched out the cardboard, the fresh cardboard, and played it. And wow, yes, this is just a phenomenal game. There's lots of different strategies you can do. Like, we didn't even know who's going to win at the end because I remember the first time we played, someone was way behind. But we found out that he had all the bonuses. He had the most gray boatmen. He didn't have any coin, but he had the most gray boatmen. He had the most islands. He had the longest island. I was like, oh my gosh. And all those points started adding up to where he really took over and won the game at the end. It was just really incredible. I was like, wow, I cannot believe he got 17. How many points is that? I can't remember now. It was like 23 points and just zoomed around the board, caught up with us, and just barely won. So In-game points really matter there. You need to keep focused on that. And then getting those bonus tiles. The person who got second was not me. The person who got second had those bonus tiles and really started using them, like the extra coin or some of them extra victory points. And I was like, oh, man. And I had tons of money, and I was being stingy with it. Only got one stinking victory point for every 5 coins. That was a joke. I shouldn't have done that. And I should have been spending the big money to get it. I just didn't want to go broke. Some guy went broke every time, and he ended up winning the game. Like I said, different strategies there. And when the tiles come out and what Vikings are out each round, it'll always be different. Each game will be totally different. This is a good one. But guess what, folks? I cannot recommend it. I cannot recommend it. It is way too expensive. I wish this was reprinted. It should be a $20 game. Well, today's world, it'd be a $40 game. But, it should just be a $20, $30 game, and that should be it. So, unfortunately, because the price, it's not worth the price. Like I said, I got in a trade. I'm happy I got in a trade. But overall, just too expensive right now. Oh, it's a shame. Should be reprinted. All right, gamers, that's it for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on.